Thank you. Well, I have to say my object is much more prosaic than the rest of these fascinating objects. So this was my mystery object, or objects. I guess there are two of them. They come in a pair, and they're what are known as armilli, or in the plural, they're door pivot shoes. So they would, each one of these, as you'll see in a second, would be at either end of a threshold, and you would have a matching pair at the top of on the lintel of the door, and then at the bottom of these would be for a double leaf door, and at the bottom of that of each leaf there would be a pivot coming down called a knodox that would fit into this. And so rather than using hinges, which they did have, but here we're talking about relatively large door, like a front door. In this case, these did come from one of the front doors of the building that I work on. The heavy wooden leaves would then rotate in these pivot sockets, and you wouldn't have them. You wouldn't worry about hinges sagging, for example. One of the things, if you've ever tried to put doors on a cabinet, for example, getting them aligned and getting the leaves from doing that is a problem. And over time, too, the hinges can weaken. So here the idea was to get around that by simply putting them, fixing them into these armilli. And so in this case, you can see that you get two round cups. These are made of lead. I can't see the bottom of my screen here. Hold on one second. Did I write that they're of bronze? I can't see.
Yes.
Sorry, thank you. Because the share screen thing is blocking it out, and I can't figure out how to move it at this very moment. Anyway, so I said bronze, but they are lead, and so there's two round cups and then a plate on the bottom of them, and the plate fits into a cutting that's made into the marble of the floor. So here you see the threshold of a general building, the posts coming out. The door pivots would be in these sockets here, and so the door would close against a raised, a little bit of a raised area on the threshold. This is actually the one on the bottom here is the one that these two actually came from. And in this case, the middle of this threshold would have been made of 3 plates of marble, and the middle one probably would have had a couple of cuttings in it as well for supports to come down to lock each leaf so that they wouldn't open into the building. So you can see just in that marble would be they would just make a little indentation in the marble, and then the shoes of each of the armilli would fit into that. So here you can see a reconstruction of a door. Here is an actual door. In this case, these are from cabinets, but they are very similar to what this door would look like. And here I've just drawn in where the armilli at the bottom would have been, and there would have been equal ones at the top, as I say. And here you get a better sense of how armilla here, and then the 2 locks here, and then the door leaves are stopping against this little raised portion of the threshold. Now that's basically it. Any questions? Yes, Kate.
I actually have a question about the wooden door that you showed in that last slide. Is that what is the date and origin of that wooden door?
That is I believe, I think I would have to, I think I'd have to look again. I believe that those are cabinet doors from England, but I could be wrong. But they are identical to the charred door leaves that we do find in Pompeii and especially in Herculaneum.
Mm.
In Pompeii, you usually get just the outline of the door preserved in the ash of from the volcano. So that's why I think these are well, I think actually the one on the right is the original, and the one on the left is probably a reconstruction. The one on the right being probably an example that had been waterlogged, given the way that it looks and the fact that I think it was preserved in England.
Mm.
And everything in England is waterlogged.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to all of my colleagues for sharing your expertise and your knowledge. I hope this gives you some sense of the range of interests and geographic breadth and subspecializations that all of us in the archaeology program have. If anyone wants to stick around, I'm happy to talk with you about the archaeology major and minor, the newly developed archaeological science track within the archaeology major and minor. Or if you just have any other additional questions about anything related to sort of research opportunities and Wesleyan anthropology and archaeology collections, stick around, we're happy to answer them.